grab a pen and pad. You're listening to the Take Notes with Kiki Barber podcast. Your host, Kiki Barber, a wife, mother, entrepreneur, educator, and author, shares her experiences, expertise, and advice that you can apply to your own lives.
Hey everybody, this is Take Notes with Kiki Barber. I am your host, Kiki Barber. And today we have a great segment for you guys. On today, we have Dr. Jamisa with us. We have Dhayany Walker, but you know, Dhayany, the lovepreneur. We go way back, a sisterhood of love. And we're going to talk to you guys today about some things about sisterhood and some things we got coming up. So listen, stay tuned and enjoy. So Dr. Jamisa, Dr. J. So tell us about who it is you are, because I just had the pleasure of meeting Dr. Jamisa. We were on like an impromptu call with Dhayany, and she was like, "Key, get on." And then next thing you know, she's like, "Jamisa, jump on." And I'm like, I loved her. Like, I know her. It's like, I don't know why we have not crossed paths. We're both from South Philly, but this is my sister. You know, we were kindred spirits. So just instantly fell in love with her. So go ahead and introduce yourself and what it is that you do.
Well, I do a lot of things. First of all, I'm a mom of 4. Dog mom, so I have one. So you can count 5 kids.
Yes.
Have a husband.
Yes.
Obviously, I'm a daughter. I take care of my grandma.
Yes.
But my official title is a real estate investor and developer.
Yes.
I'm 27. I have 26 properties. As of 2 weeks ago, I closed on my first hotel in Atlantic City, which is scary. It's a smaller one, but I'm gonna make it.
You gonna make it do what it do?
For that.
Congrats.
I was 19 years old. Thank you. I started investing literally by accident. I literally contribute all of my success just to God and being obedient. You know, they say obedience is greater than sacrifice in the Bible. So for me, I did not know what I was doing at all. I just always made it a point to do something and, you know, kind of figure it out along the way. I think there's not enough glory in the story, so to speak. You know, everybody looks at the now version of me like, oh, 28, doctorate, yada, yada, yada. No, really look at all of my mistakes, because that actually helped me lay the roadmap to where I am right now.
Wow. That is an awesome story. I can't wait to, we're going to get into that. She glimpsed over it. First of all, she just glimpsed over the fact that she's a doctor. She glimpsed over the fact that she's only 27 and glimpsed over the fact that she got like 26 properties and just closed on a hotel. So I'm going to let her have that. I'm going to let her have that real quick.
Thank you, dear.
Hats off to you, my dear. Oh my God, I'm so happy for you. And it's like every time I see a sister make these moves, it feels like I'm with it. Like I just closed on a hotel. Like you're like, Key, you just what, girl? Jamisa did it, so we just closed on a hotel, girl. You know, it's ours. You know, and I just think that it's one for the team, and it's one in the books that women can, another achievement that they can look up to and be like, if Jamisa did it, I could do it. Like she told me,
like us all doing it together.
It's us all doing it together, united.
Celebrating each other's success, it would take away the need for everybody to go do it separately. It makes no sense. If we're all on our way to the market, let's just carpool, okay? Let's save gas time. And
take my list and get me what you like. Jamisa, what you going to get a hotel? Girl, you see if there's another one down the street from me. just take my shopping list.
And I can say, hey, this is how I did it, right? Opposed to like the catty and combativeness. I mean, again, that's why I love D.
Yes.
Literally, you see, she just brings people together.
Yes.
And it's crazy because it's like organized chaos with our friendship and our relationship.
Yes.
Not that we have it all together.
Yes.
It's just that we're not afraid to talk about the ugly parts. And then it's like, oh, well, I did that too, or I went through that too. Do it this way so that it can turn out different. And I just love that for us as a whole.
I love it. Y'all giving me like butterflies and stuff. Y'all just giving me butterflies from all the achievements. Now, D, I know we call you D. Your name is Dhayany, but Dhayany, we met her in church. We met in church through her now husband, who was her boyfriend at the time, Demetrius. We call him Meat. And Dhayany,
15 years ago.
Yes, 15 years ago, right? So D was one of the people that people didn't want to approach, and not that she was standoffish or anything like that. It was because she was just beautiful. Okay, so a lot of people did not know how to take D. So they put her in their own category of she just stuck up. She just this. She just that. She just another. But D has always had a welcoming heart. She's always been inviting. To me, I never, we never had any.
I can stamp it.
Yeah, she's always been. But some people judge a book by its cover, and they don't really know what the book entails, so they'll just go off of what they want to go off of or whatever. So I gravitate. I don't run from anything. I gravitated to her and she gravitated, and we were not like besties or anything like that, but we had a mutual respect and a mutual, hey D, hey Key, hey D, hey Key, that type of thing or whatever. And like I said, I remember the first day she walked through the doors, and I remember their testimony of how they met and things like that. So we do go way back. But when I had this idea that we were about to talk about, I was like, God just dropped in my spirit, D. And I'm like, yeah, that's good, God. That was smart. Let me call D. That was a good idea, Jesus. So D, tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell everybody else about yourself.
Thank you, Kiki. Kiki, yeah, you are bomb. And I remember those moments in church. So many people mention about, because I didn't know, I'm literally just going to church and not knowing who my husband was at the church and how deep-rooted he was in the church. I felt like I was next to someone that was like filling some big shoes, and I was just like there just going to church with him. But yeah, so all that, very true, except that definitely beautiful respect for you, Key, because you have like 10 sisters.
Yeah, it's 12 of us all together. It's 12 kids all together. So, yeah.
So all I knew was that they were all sisters. It was a lot of them, and they come deep, and they were all coming to church. So, yes. And then you guys were all so beautiful.
Thank you
I
so
appreciate
much.
the introduction. So, yes, Dhayany Walker from Lovepreneur. My husband and I are entrepreneurs. In the spaces of real estate development, which is the combination that Jamisa and I kind of have in common. Alongside, we're newly restaurant owners here in Miami. We have a lot of investment properties. We have an investment company where we allow everyday individuals to invest in real estate in cities as Philadelphia, Miami, Illinois. And in a few other actually states now we've expanded to. So that's something that we're also very proud of. But we're allowed just everyday people learn the real estate game. And I think the difference with us is that we're not just doing it for you. Like, we need you hands-on, and we teach you the ropes, and we teach you the wholesaling part, and we teach you the real estate part. And I'm also a daycare owner. One of those fun facts a lot of people don't know about me. We've been a daycare owner for the last 10 years. It's actually one of the first businesses my husband and I invested together. So it's a journey that my husband and I realized isn't easy. And as you ladies know, as entrepreneurs, being married in this space, being an entrepreneur at heart, and then marrying an entrepreneur or marrying a person that needs to understand your entrepreneurial spirit was a combination that I realized we need to educate our people on. And, it's one of the things you touched on, Jamisa, and one of my many loves. I love bringing people together because I see the benefit and the ROI of it. Like, I see this becoming something bigger. I love that you and I can have literally normal conversations of buying the next property, and it's literally a normal conversation where it's not like someone else like, oh, they're showing off about all their achievements. Actually, no, it's a regular conversation. You go into the store, and by the way, I just bought up the property.
By the way, pick me up some
bricks. It's that simple. By the way, I just got $2 million off the property yesterday. And it's like literally a regular conversation. And we're first generation. I already know it. I don't even have to be in your business to know that we are first generation. Chances are we're first generation this. And we don't have room to F this up. Excuse my language. We don't. And we have to give it all we have. And one of the things that we did not learn that this generation is now understanding the power of is building together. Unfortunately, as we're growing up, we were told, mind your business. Don't get in other people's business. That person not allowed to come over our house. And if they do, you don't tell them about our business. We were just always taught to separate. No, there's no need to shake hands. No, there's no need. Keep that parent over there. They don't need to be coming over my house. And it was always this celebrating division. And we as now know that that's actually far from the truth. Doesn't mean it's about your business personal. It's just shake people's hands, get to know someone. Yes, introduce them. Let's see what builds from it. And that allows us to benefit from each other's net worth and increase our net worth, right? So it's important for me to just establish that even in our surroundings. So my husband and I are very particular about that. We're really big on shaking hands and shaking the right hands and expanding our territory, because we're not only one opportunity away from another opportunity, but that just really equates to being one person away from the next opportunity.
Wow.
And if I don't get to meet that next person, do I really get to meet or introduce myself to this next opportunity and take advantage?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So that's really what we're about, and that's what the Lovepreneur platform is about. This is what this friendship here that's been built right now about. It's about building and building together, because we do it together, we'll do it stronger, we'll do it better, and we'll do it faster.
To get there, you go. Listen, my sister always said you could do it. You could go far alone, or you could go even farther with a group. With people or whatever. But we have. Listen, ladies, I'm so glad I'm so honored you guys are here. I don't even know. Like, I'm just like, okay, Lord. I'm just honored that you guys are here tonight. Another part of our segment on the show, we do something called a mommy moment, where we share an experience that the other mothers can take away from the show. So we have a mommy moment. Do you guys have a mommy moment that you could just expound upon, like something that your son might have said, something your daughter might have did, something that was a wow moment, or something you could just give to us to be like, I made a mistake in this area and I realized it a little bit too late. So now I would do it this way if, I were a new parent or a parent.
Damn it. My kids wow me all the time.
Yes.
So they're fairly young. I have a 7-year-old, a 4-year-old, a 3-year-old, a 1-year-old. She's 15.
Mind you, she's Dr. Jamisa, okay?
Right.
And just brought a hotel, okay?
They
Right.
were like legitimately just right here.
Right.
And in the beginning, I pushed mute and was like, "You good? All right, cool. Close the door."
You got a multitask like that, don't you?
Y'all don't even know what was happening because y'all was mobbing and I was mobbing.
Yeah.
You can do both.
All the time. Yes.
I mean, yeah, but my biggest takeaway would be just that you can do both. Like, don't allow society to paint a picture of what success looks like to you. See, like, success in your household solely should be contingent on how you feel and what works for you. Like, what time is it right now? Maybe like almost 9. Most people are like, your kids should have dinner at this time and have a bath at this time and be in the bed at this time. Like, no, do what works for you. Create your own schedule. There is no such thing as balance. We replace balance in our household with boundaries, okay? As long as everybody is happy and can compromise and we're all respectful in this piece, we're good.
We good.
So any mom who's out there listening, like, I gotta have it all together. Like, oh my God, my kids can't be running around. They can't make noise. My kids got it. Like, this perfect image.
Girl.
I'm gonna tell you that it does not exist.
Girl.
Try both ways. Okay, I like to shop. I'm the Gucci, Fendi, Louis, whatever type of girl now, right? So I was like, let me dress my kids up in the Fendi, because you can't be fly.
And have your kids looking crazy. Yeah.
And it's, oh, you're raising materialistic kids, and those kids want to wear light up sneakers. Let them be kids. I was like, okay, you're right, guys. What do you want to wear? They want a SpongeBob light up, whatever. Then it's, oh my God, you have all of these labels, and your kids are wearing this and that. And
It's always gonna be something to be said. Yeah.
When you're young, you don't know, and I'm young. And like Dee said, first generation. Everything. First person to have all of my children by the same person, to actually marry that person, to eat dinner at the dinner table. Like, this is all uncharted territory for me. So I was literally letting society raise my kids, right? While I was ultimately raising myself, I'm still very young. And I just want any mom that's listening just to know, like, you don't have to get it right. You just have to get it done. And you figure it out as you go along.
Yes, literally. I love that. I love that, because I was just not thrust into, I made a decision to get remarried. And along with my marriage came little kids. So I was just like, one of those, like you were just saying, Jamisa, I was like, oh my God, don't move around. Don't jump too much. Oh my kitchen's dirty again. Oh my God, what's going on? Like, I was that, because I was going from a 24-year-old, 16-year-old to kids again. And I had to make the connection again that they are not Gianna and Sarai. They are new kids, and they're kids. You're talking about a 5-year-old. You're talking about a 9-year-old. You're talking about a 12. Like, you're talking about kids. Like, they're going to be crumbs, girl. And if you keep going over there and trying to wipe them up every 2 seconds, then good luck with that. Okay? Good luck with that. You're just going to be wash on, wipe off, wash on. Like, that's going to be the routine. So now I'm just like, okay. I'm good with the crumbs. I'm good with them not putting the stools in when they get up from the table. I mean, I come and get it. I'll tell them to come and change it and everything and put it in or whatever. But I'm not like a tyrant anymore, like a sergeant, like, oh my God, like, but I was losing my mind. I had to get it together like, Key, they are children and your house is not a museum. Your house is a house. It's a home. It's supposed to be. Like, you want to hear the pitter patter of little feet. You don't want them sitting there like statues all day long and can't scared to move and scared. You don't want to raise kids like that, you know? So, but thank you for that. That was an awesome mommy moment. What about you, Day?
I love that. My brain and heart is going to so many places, and I'm hoping that I can tie it all in successfully.
Okay.
So, because it goes hand in hand. One of the biggest lessons I've learned, I am a mother of a 6-year-old boy and a 9-year-old little girl. Mm-hmm. And as most people say that know us, my daughter got it. You know, she got it. She is, you know, she's an entrepreneur. The girl, like the businesses that she already has, that she's literally running. And it's like, she's just amazing. I mean, my son, oh boy, all he wants to do is Power Rangers, Fortnite. He's not interested. And one of the things I realized as a parent, and this is literally our nightly prayer, it's not our job to be the parent that we want to be for them. It's our job to be the parent that they need
us to be. Wow.
So we're constantly struggling with, do they need me to be this person right now? What is best for them at the moment? Because it's real easy to say, no, this is what they're supposed to do because this is what I want them to do because this is, as Jamisa said, they're supposed to do right now. And it's like, well, no, that's not what they need. That's not what they need from me as a mom. That's not what they need from my husband, their father, as a father. And that's a struggle because when you were here, you were offered that present, that gift of children. It's your job to keep them in between these lines, but it's not your job to dictate to them who they should be becoming. Allow your child to become who they were meant to be. You're not God. It's not for you to decide that. And what I realized, that is very hard, especially as a mom, because we had them. We know what's best for them. We know them. We know their potential. We know what they can become. But it's not our job to do that. But it's our job to just allow them to seek it and find it. Because God put them here for a reason. Allow them to fulfill that purpose, whatever that may be, and us not trying to dictate that. And I say that to say that they're watching us. And they're going to imitate what they see. So a lot of times we want to sit there and dictate again to them who they should be, who they should become. But yet we're doing the total opposite. Of what we're preaching. Right? So if we're going to do that, instead of focusing on what you're saying to them and let them hear you because you know what you want, what's best for them, instead allow them to be a witness of who you are and how you are becoming so that they too then can imitate that, because that's the only thing they're really listening to is your actions. So this is my mommy moment. I'm afraid of dogs, horrified. I mean, I don't care the size. I am jumping on a table if a dog is running in out. Like, period. I can't take it. And that's always been a thing of mine. I have no idea where the fear came from. So my daughter, now 9, she's always loved dogs. I mean, the girl lets the dog lick her hand and her face. And it's like, where do you get this from? Because it's not from me. You're definitely not imitating it from me. But she loves dogs. And I'm getting old, y'all. So I had this thing with my shoulder. I couldn't lift my shoulder. I was down for like 2 weeks. And can I tell you, this little girl took care of her mom the whole time. I mean, I worked the whole time in the bed, food, dinner, you name it, cleaning, making sure my son took a shower, just like amazed me. And I got a call that my uncle, he breeds dogs, has his little puppy, so adorable, and he wanted to see if I wanted it, knowing I can't stand dogs. And it's like, what makes you think I want a dog? He's like, I don't know, I thought about Milani. At that moment, during those 2 weeks of this girl just like literally showering me with her kindness and compassion as this little 8-year-old, because she didn't turn 9 yet. So I'm impressed by how she was taking care of mommy and her brother. And daddy was traveling back and forth. She just had it down pat. I was waiting for the girl to start paying my bills. So I said yes to it. I said yes to the dog, and I'll tell you why. I realized that the kids are imitating us, and I don't need her to be fearful. I can't have the conversation with my daughter about fear, and I don't face my own fears. And that's one thing they always make fun of me on. I'm afraid of dogs. And we had this, she's in gymnastics, and we had this gymnastic moment, and she was scared. She was afraid. And I'm like, you can do it. You know, you don't have to be afraid. No fear here. Fear don't live here. You know we're not a family of fear. And she looked at me, And she didn't say it, but I felt like I could read her mind. Were you afraid of dogs? You know, like it just pierced. I just heard her say it without her saying it. And that's when I made a decision. I cannot be talking to my daughter about fear. And I have a fear that I don't address. So I let the dog come into the family, and now we have a dog. And he still can't touch me. Yeah. But he's here. Yeah. He's here. He doesn't lick me, but he's here. And sometimes I give him food. So my advice to you guys is that very thing. The fear can't live in your house. You cannot be an example and literally practice the opposite. And don't try to dictate to your kids who they're supposed. I could have literally told my daughter, no, you're not allowed to have dogs. Not supposed to have dogs because we don't have dogs here. But instead, allow her to become who she is. She's a child that wants a dog and loves a dog. I'm not gonna dictate the opposite for her. Allow her to enjoy a dog.
That's good points, everyone.
Well, I hope I circled it in.
You circled that all the way. You brought that all the way in.
Those are important.
But both of you guys had very, very great points. Even with the mommy one with the fear with UD, because we have a dog here now, and I have been definitely afraid of dogs all my life. Wow. I was even afraid of cats too. I just was not an animal person. Like, don't bring them around me. I'm good. They don't belong in the house. Now you'll see me picking this dog up. You'll see me and I'm just like, they like kids.
You said you do?
Yes, I do.
Do you?
I love her.
How long did it take?
I don't know. Well, as soon as I saw her, first the kids wanted one. I'm like, no. So then, we got married. They were like, we want a dog. I'm like, okay, let me get them a dog. So I got them a dog, and at first I was like, whatever, I don't care. I was like, this is your responsibility. I'm not walking, I'm not cleaning, I'm not feeding. This is you guys' responsibility. And then next thing you know, Mom thought you wasn't a walker. Mom, I thought you wasn't feeding her. And next thing you know, she curls up to me, she'll jump up, and she just show, like, she's so happy to see me when I walk in the house. Like, she's the happiest out of everybody in this house. Like, her tail is wagging, and she's trying to get at me, and I'm just like, oh my God, you love me more than everybody in this house. So I pick her up, I do all of that. I have no fear anymore at all. None.
Oh yeah, you're gonna
get there. You're gonna get there. Those dogs.
You're gonna definitely get there. I've been trying it for a long time. Like, we have had dog after dog, and it's crazy. No matter how much the dog costs, it has a expiration date in our home all the time. It's like 4 months. Okay, I'm sorry, it's too much. You gotta go. Yeah. Give it away. We don't even resell it. Bye. It's a specific time. Yeah. We have a French bulldog, and
that's what my husband was so bad. Oh my God.
So many times to give him away. Like, literally, he broke his leg. He needed physical therapy. His surgery was like $4,000. The dog was $6,000. I said, damn, that's a new dog. Leave him at the vet. We're going to donate this. And I was like, you know what? Go get your dog and do the right thing. Nurse them back to health. Put the ace bandage on them. Splinter them up a little bit. Whatever. Long story short, we've had him for almost a year. And this is the longest
that you have a dog.
Have ever done it. And, my husband... He's the one, like you were saying, this is your dog. You wanted this. Yeah. We changed Pampers. You want a clean dog food? I'm like, I do. And now he feeds them, he plays them. And, it's a thing. They are so loving. Like, dogs, they're first of all, so protective, so family oriented. He's a companion dog, too, naturally. His breed is for that. So he's like a person. He gets separation anxiety and everything if he's locked. That's the thing. When we leave, we had to turn on the puppy channel on TV.
So he can watch the
It's a whole thing. Whole ass thing. But, I'm just loving that whole you let the dog in thing. Because right now, the dog can't touch you.
But you're going to be hugging that dog. That dog is going to be your protector. Before somebody get to the curb, they're going to be like, rrr, rrr, rrr. Like, you're going to know. Like, you could get locked and loaded. You can get your gun and be like, okay, click, click. Like, Ori is barking. So somebody's out there somewhere around this house. Like, she is the smallest thing. But I'm telling you, Napoleon syndrome, that's her. Like, Napoleon complex, she got that.
Dogs are crazy. Like, Brody, he's fat now. He started off really small, but now he's fat. He can't grow but so big. Still a bulldog. But he'll let you know, like you said. Like, what?
What's going on? And even when people come in your house, dogs know bad spirits. That is crazy. Yep.
My grandma always said that, understand that dogs and babies.
Yes.
If a baby ever cries around a person, something's wrong with them. And if the dog ever just, is on alert around a person.
Definitely. If somebody comes in his home and she warms up and she might bark for a little bit and she'll stop after she sniffs you and gets to know whatever. But if she, barks the whole time you're here, I know that something is wrong, with the spirit. Me and my husband we had tenants coming through the house to see who's going to live in the property. So we wanted to do a face-to-face interview to get to know who was going to be in our property. And some people that came in here, it was decided by the dog.
That's a good one.
She would just, no matter how good the story they were telling, no matter how thick they were laying it on, Ori did not stop barking. I said,
He said, oh, they lying.
She's like, they lying. She was going crazy. So I'm like, we're going to determine this by the dog. And when you get around like-minded, that's why I wanted to talk about this event. And because when you get around like-minded individuals like this, you have already done things in your own right. Dee has already done things in her own right. I've already done things in my own right. Nisha's already done things in her own right. When we get together, it has no choice but to be explosive. It has no choice but to be the pinnacle of pinnacles. Okay? It has no choice but to be. So what we're doing, so this is what happened, you guys. So I had this come to Jesus moment. And I was just thinking about shoes. As a child, I didn't have a lot of shoes. I had like one pair that my mom, I probably wore them for like a year or so until I couldn't fit them no more. But this one pair of shoes I do remember, they were penny loafers. You remember how you had to put the penny in the little They were penny loafers, and these penny loafers were, I think, were handed down to me or whatever. But I wore them so much that the soles started having holes in them, right? So I had to walk to school in these shoes, and I used to put plastic bags around my socks and tie them and then walk to school with the plastic bag so my socks wouldn't get wet. And then when I got to school, I took the bags off and then, whatever. So that's how I did this until I was able to get another pair. But like Dee said, my mom had 12 children, so she could not afford it. We were raised on welfare, bottom of the barrel, whatever. So I had this thing where I was talking to God about, I won so many different shoes. And I was actually thanking him for actually liking the shoes that I'm in now. Like, I was like, I like the shoes that I'm in now. Oh my God, Lord. I used to always, want different pairs of shoes. I always wanted a lot of shoes. And then he took me on a journey of all the shoes I had to wear to get to this particular point in my life. And I was like, wow, I wonder if all women go on a self-discovery of all the shoes they wore in their lives, and they can sit back and say, you know what? These red bottoms feel real good right now, because when I had those penny loafers with the holes in the bottom, that wasn't looking good. But thank you for the penny loafers with the holes, Lord God, because these red bottoms would not exist without all the stuff, without the shoes of molestation, without the shoes of foster care, without the shoes of abandonment, without the shoes of having parents who are alcoholism, without having wearing the shoes of torture, without wearing the shoes of just being looked a past or look, so all those different shoes, I was just thinking, God, like, wow. And then I was like, a lot of women, and we were talking about this, a lot of women they always envy another person's shoes, but are not willing to go through what they went through to actually wear those shoes. So I was saying, Lord, it would be a beautiful thing to have. So I started doing, sis, I like your shoes. I started doing inspirational quotes every day. I started doing it one day, and then everybody started like, Key, do it again. I'm like, really? I can't post every day. I can't commit to that. like I don't like commitment, okay? Because if I commit to it, that means every day. And I'm like, 1 minute I'm handling something else, the next minute, so I'm like, I really got to commit to doing this every day. But when it was an outpouring of it for women, I was just like, okay, Lord, this is a ministry right here, so I have to do it. I have to do. Your ministry comes first. You'll take care of everything else. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and all his righteousness, and everything else will follow. And I've been living like that, for a long time. So I'm like, okay, Lord. So I started doing that, and it started unfolding and unveiling. And he started telling me different things. Like, I want you to do a conference. I want you to let women know that they don't have to envy somebody else's shoes. And I want you to do a segment where, hey, sis, I like your shoes. And then at the conference, you're going to do a segment of, hey, sis, my feet hurt. And it's going to be women talking about how they struggled and how their feet hurt. And they're tired of carrying the burdens of motherhood. They're tired of carrying the burdens of, going to school. They're tired of carrying the burdens of working from or living from pillow to post, And then it's going to be, hey, sis, can I borrow your shoes? And it's like, can you really borrow my shoes? Can you really go through what I went through to get these shoes? Like, you can't just borrow these shoes, girl. Walk in these shoes. Girl. Can you really walk in these shoes? So I thought it would be beautiful to bring a sisterhood. So that's what brought me today. So I was just like, Dhayany, I was like, Lord, I need somebody, because I saw a gathering of women, like-minded women, who have already reached and are still reaching their goals. And then I see another group of women who just don't know how to figure it out. And then I saw us putting them in a room with us to show them a blueprint of how you figure it out. You're not going to leave here without figuring it out. That bridged the gap between that. And I felt that was a ministry that needed to happen. So I was like, Lord, I could do the Hey Sisters. So then immediately I was like, who would I be? Who would be a keynote speaker, or who would be a person to do this with me, Lord? Who would be a person? It was like, God speaks. When people say God don't talk, listen, y'all, your ears are filled with wax because he speaks, and he speaks loud and he speaks clear. Okay. He said, D. I said, Lord, D is so big. And then I started getting in myself, right? I said, D is so busy. Her and me got so much going on, Lord. Roll the barrow. Like, can you give me somebody else that's more, somebody, I feel like that's not mountainous, that's somebody I can approach. Like, because I feel like D got too much going on, and she probably like, Key, come on now. But listen, it was the total opposite. D was like, oh, sure, honey. I was like, and God,
you have my heart. You have my heart.
Listen, and God was like, see, told you. Like, don't underestimate me. So I'm just like, okay. So then we started building from there. And then when I talked to D was like, and God is, what he's doing right now is enlarging my territory. And he's worked with me in businesses. Like I said, I have salons, I had this, I had that. I'm in the business right now of, I have transitional homes for mentally ill, developmentally delayed. I have women, a house for family. They just people to get them in a house and to make sure that they live their best life and put them on the road to home ownership, to job training, to things like that, to just better build, people or whatever. And when this came about with the systemic racism, I'm like, Lord, I'm not gonna go out there and riot. I can't break nobody's windows. I'm a business owner myself. I can't. give me an answer to what's going on right now in the world. And he said you can end systemic racism by educating people, by helping them, giving them a one-up. And we started the Sarah's House Foundation, where we try to, we're giving away houses, like the whole title, like building houses and just giving them to people. Because I feel like if people have a sense of ownership, then they can better decide what they're going to feed their kids tonight, and they can better decide to put their kids in sport, and they can go from here and here. But if you're toiling with the big task of paying rent and you can't even afford it because it's not even your whole paycheck, how can you plan for the future when you're just barely making it? You can't even make ends meet. You just surviving. You can't. You can't. You can't really do both. You can't really do both, right? So me and my husband and I wanted to alleviate that from them. So if you could sit here and you could live in a house and you could have a whole deed, then you can go ahead and you could build. You could think about having the hope to send your child to college. You could think about having the hope of feeding your child every night and things like that. So with the whole getting back to the whole, hey sis, I like your shoes, when Dhayany, she was like, well, where you want to have it at? And this is how she said it. She said, where you want to have it at? Philly. But what I heard was, where you going to have it at again? Philly. Like, that's what I heard in my head, right? And that was only God trying to enlarge my territory, because Philly is safe for me. Philly is very, very safe for me. And when I heard that, I was just like, so where you want to have it at? I'm open, where you want to have it at? She was like, Miami. I was like, sweating in the inside, stomach hurt. It was doing all these different things or whatever, like sweating bullets. Like, can I really pull this off? And I was like, okay. Like, once you let the cat out the bag and say, okay, it's like, girl, game on. You can't tell it. Like, you got to keep on. You done said it, girl.
I can't get off. You get to the top, it's about to drop me. Like, can I ask him to let me off? No, you're on it. Go ahead.
So Dhayany, so what was you thinking when I called you? Like, what were your thoughts?
I knew when you were calling me, you mean business. I didn't expect nothing less than that. I knew that the call was a call. Yeah. Whether or not, I don't know. Maybe I was thinking on the real estate side of things. A lot of people in Philly.
We're going to do that too.
I have this property, what can we do now? And, whatever happens. So I thought maybe it was on that note. But knowing you, knowing your heart, knowing your story, being very familiar with your story. And I know how many women you impact on a day-to-day, particularly how you carry yourself in your platform. I don't know if many people know, but Kiki I don't know if you still are a rapper, but you were a rapper.
I was. I was.
And really, you're a poet.
Yes, definitely.
And I'll never forget listening to a lot of those lyrics, and it would impact me.
Wow.
So I know the position that you hold to a lot of women.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say, are you going to do it in Philly, what I mean is I don't want you to limit yourself or the women you're about to impact.
Mm-hmm.
I need those women you're about to impact to know that their territory is about to be. Your territory, you're connected to too many people. Your territory is large. You're just about to walk in it.
You got to walk in it.
It's those that I know you're about to impact that I need them pulled out. I need them to see more. I need them to be exposed to more, because it don't matter how much we speak and preach and talk to them. If they're not exposed, if they can't actually see it and feel it, what we're talking about, it's not going to be real to them. It's going to be just talk, fantasy, dreams. And it really isn't. It could be their reality.
Yes.
So I just know the impact you can have.
Wow.
And if I am here to stretch you out, if that's the assignment,
Yes,
which I was unaware of, so I hear you now, so be it. You know, I'm all about, I don't do nothing but obey that man. That man say do it. It's done. Like, whatever. He gives me the vision. He blesses with the provision.
Yes.
I just keep it rolling.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. And
That's
so
it.
I thought that. Now I didn't know you really wanted to do it in Philly, but you know, we're open to that too. But I think
no, we're doing it in Miami now. Now I'm like past Philly. Like, okay, I'm with you there. We're going to get out of Philly. We're going to go. I need to go ahead and make that move or whatever. So then we're on a call and we're just talking. You have your segment that you do, and you put me in on a call, and we met this extraordinary young lady, and I'm just like, yo. When I got off the call with her, I was like, yo, she got to be on this platform too. She has to be on the platform, because there's other young women who think it takes a whole lot. You said you started with your income tax. Like, what? Like, that is so doable.
No, I literally, yo, man, that's what my dissertation was about.
Wow.
That generational wealth is not money. It's wisdom, knowledge, and experience.
Wow.
You can't, like, I mean, I could literally, because I have done it, giving people thousands of dollars. Go ahead. And they're like, okay, now what? Or they mess it up, or they don't do what I said do if they do it because they wasn't ready. You know, just stuff like that. But so now my house came from my grandma. Okay. But then when I got the house and I started to like learn and educate, I realized that $600 could have got me the property. Then I'm like, damn, how many times I had $600? I was always responsible with money. My very first car came from working at ShopRite. I was a cashier before I jumped into the whole real estate thing. So I'm like, yo, you know how to save money because you've done it. So I'm like, yo, you had $600 600 times. Like, seriously? And then I just was realizing, like, how many people don't know. And then ignorance is not bliss. It actually costs you a lot of money. So much so that even when I did sell my first property, I sold it for $152,000, which was great. I'm like 19 years old. Yay! Sat down with somebody and they're like, well, why didn't you sell it for the $350? What $350? You know what I'm saying? It was like, oh, gentrification. You're in the middle of South Philly. Duh. Yeah. Yes. So the ARP is the blah blah da 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 da. I was like, oh, okay then. So no way I can go back and go get that. Nope, it's over. You signed and you said that you were mentally sane. That was that affidavit right there. So it's a dud. So then after that, I was like, well, just moving forward, I'm going to figure out how to get that money back. And I'm going to just learn and just educate myself. And I was just realizing that some things are very simple. We have a tendency to make it complex. Wow. We have a tendency to try to plan and map out all of that stuff. You heard what Dee said. She said, God gives me the vision. He blesses with the provision, and I just go. And I just go. It's not going to be perfect. Like, so if everybody had this perfect life or this perfect whatever, nobody would be here right now. That takes away the whole glory of living life. You live to learn and grow, and then to change somebody else's life so that they can do it a different way. Like, we forget our purpose of why we're actually here. If everybody could do it by themselves, well, then he wouldn't even created Eve for Adam. It would have been like, no, Adam, you good. Keep going, keep doing your thing. You know, I mean, even God needed Jesus. You feel what I'm saying? Yes. So why is it that we feel like we don't need each other, or why do we feel like we're not obligated to pass it forward? So we're nothing more than just our spirits. And it's easy to get in the world and get crazy, like, I own this, I own that, I had this, I had that. And it's like, but you don't though.
But you don't.
You don't, when you die, it doesn't go with you. These are things that you get to rent right now in this moment as you're here. And he's giving you these things as tools. You have to use those tools accordingly. So like just being a child of God first before everything else. I know at least that much. And then I realized, well, damn, that's all you really need to know. Everything else comes afterwards. All you need to know is this. And then I was like, okay, cool. Let me see how far I can actually take it. And you don't know how many times I was at my last dollar. Yo, it was a point in time, maybe like a year and a half, I was a broke millionaire, okay? $1 million in assets, probably like $2,000 in the bank. Now, if I'm under a certain number, I get uncomfortable.
That's girl.
That's enough zeros. Move this over. This ain't looking too right? But you talking about a person who's coming from humble beginnings, so I understand both sides. And you got to really understand your assignment. You really have to understand what you are doing it for. Once you lose sight of that, it's like, what are you doing? Then you just giving treadmill vibes. Like, come on. Nowhere fast. Like, what the hell is going on?
Nowhere fast. Treadmill vibes, I never heard of that, but I'm going to use it.
That's exactly what goes on. So I just love meeting people who embrace you. That's why, like, open book. Wear my heart on my sleeve. You met me, I was very transparent. Like, I'm Jamisa, this is what it is, this is what happened. However, just being that way, because I feel like so many people limit themselves because they take away their own power. Like, you gotta understand, you possess the power. Everything that you need, God put in you already. Like, it's there.
It's there.
It's up to you to
tap
use
into that thing
correctly.
Yes.
It's like people. What does it say? What they meant for bad, God can make it good.
Make it good. Yep. He also says, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge." Like they are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Yes.
Yes. You'll be able to get caught up in our story. We are not our story. Our story is literally a part of a very large book. That's one chapter, or maybe a few pages within a chapter. But like, how do you know if you don't move forward? You got to turn your own page. So I love meeting people like you two who allow that. Like, D don't care. We legitimately do the same exact thing. She don't care.
The same
I call her like, D, I need help.
Yes.
She's like, okay, how can I help? And vice versa. She don't care. You know why?
Yep.
Because what I eat don't make her shit, and vice versa.
Listen, I couldn't say it on this platform, but I love myself some Jay-Z, and I say that all the time.
Literally, it's crazy, like, because she knows there's nothing that anybody can do to stop her blessing.
Not at all.
And she knows that in order to be blessed, she must be a blessing.
Yes.
And she just wears
yes.
so well. And it's like, in a world full of mean girls, I aspire to be like D.
They are. Listen.
I really just aspire to be like D, because I'm not going to lie, being the youngest of the bunch is not always fun, especially when you got it together and people like, okay, I done help people up, and their whole purpose was to get up so they could step on my head. I'm like,
wow.
You don't know, God gave me the key to the elevator anyway. All right, but thanks for letting me know. And that gets discouraging until you meet people like you guys. It's like, no.
And I like the fact that you can stay yourself.
God will bring you who you need.
He is.
God is going to bring you who you need. Don't go looking for it. Don't go try to find it. And don't you dare change who you are because somebody else did something to you.
Girl.
They gonna get their karma.
Girl, you
keep
preaching
going on your own. So I think it's very necessary to just put the real back in reality. Like right now, our reality that people are looking at,
it's so sordid.
Right.
Like
it's so like fake. I can't, man. That's crazy. It's so insane. Like it's just insane the way that some people are living their lives, and it's like, what makes it worse is there's other people who are mirroring that because they don't have anybody else. They don't know any other way. So I think this is gonna be good.
It's gonna be the Good Girls Club. I'm telling you, it's gonna be this is not the Mean Girls table. This is the Good Girls Club. And listen, we're not gonna be withholding information from you. I was dating a guy before when I was younger, and his pet peeve with me was the fact that I gave everybody all the information. And I didn't understand why that was a problem. Like I was, I had salons. I had 4 salons in Philly. I was a salon girl. I opened salons up like crazy. And because another woman came and wanted to do the same thing, and I invited her to lunch and gave her all everything that, okay, this is what I did. This is what I don't do this because I made a mistake in this area, but girl, do this. Like, they thought I was crazy. Like, why would you give her the information? Now she's your competition. Nobody's my competition. I am my own competition. When you cry, you crazy? So I didn't understand why people will always say, you give out too much information, Key. You let everybody know what you're doing all the time, Key. You can't give everybody all this advice. You're going to be competing against them. I said, I don't compete against anybody. And I feel like God put me here to be an example of hope, to let you know that Kiki did it coming from, you know, a welfare ridden house with 12 kids and we didn't have it and we were the underdogs and things like that, that if God rose me from the ashes to do something, then I only think it's my duty to help the next person up, because he only did it for me so that I can help somebody up, you know. And I think that that's what this whole thing is going to do. Our thing is we're going to be grabbing people by the bootstraps and literally helping them up, and not talking about them behind their back, not judging them when they walk in the other room, not, you know, not any of that, not giving them false information. We're going to give them the real. We're going to go through some spiritual healing. D, we're going to do foot washing. Like, D, I was talking to Pastor La. She was like, girl, I'm there. So we are going to, and then we have Niche. Y'all can't forget about Niche. I love Niche. I was looking at a video the other day with Niche, and first she was Maserati Niche, right? And now she Big Bentley Niche, right? So she was like, big Niche, busting out the big things. Like, she did a video, I was cracking up like Niche. I don't even know the words, but it's big Niche, but the big Montego. I was like, girl, you are too funny. But I was just vibing with her to that video that she posted. For sure. I was vibing with her to that video that she posted, because I celebrate other Black women. And my husband, he had a dream of it one night. It was like maybe a couple months ago. And he was like, I had a dream you was messing with somebody named Eminem. I was like, Eminem? What? You had a dream I was messing with somebody named Eminem? And he was like, yeah. I said, oh yeah, you did. My Maserati in my mansion. They gonna call me Eminem soon. That's my new nickname, because I'm going to buy myself my Maserati. I deserve it. I've been working hard for it.
Dating somebody named Eminem.
Listen, Eminem, yeah, you were accurate, sir, but it wasn't a man, okay?
It was definitely my goal.
It was definitely my goals. So today we just wanted to come on and let everybody know that not even take notes. This is Take Notes with Kiki Barber. But Hey Sis, I Like Your Shoes is doing our first conference. It's going to be at a mansion in Miami. I wish it could be bigger, but I want it to be so. I can't wait. I was praying for it, and God was like, you know, make it intimate. So we want it to be and I listen. Let me tell you what D did. D going to send me this. She's an event planner, right?
Okay,
so
wait, let me say something about that before you take that out. Go ahead. This is my in-house team.
Yes, right?
It's the only way I do my events.
Listen, you pulled out the red carpet for me.
I'm opening up my Rolodex.
Yes, you are.
I don't open up my Rolodex to just anybody.
Yes.
Listen, you know, because I'm part of this, my name is on.
Yes, it has to be right.
100% right.
Yes.
Kiki.
Yes.
Gotta call my girl Eb if we're gonna do this.
Listen, so Eb scared me, right? So we talk about enlarging territories and stuff like that, right? So Eb like, hi, I'm Ebony, I'm returning a call. I'm like, yes, I talked to her for a little bit. She, you know, gives me her little spiel, whatever. And she's like, I'm in Italy right now, but when I get back, I said, oh, D. She was like, I've done things for Oprah, Gail. I was like, where we getting this? Where we getting this from, Jesus? Like, I don't understand. But and God is like, go ahead. Don't pay attention to nothing she's saying. You better go ahead, whatever. But I'm stuck on her words and her resume that I'm just like, yeah. Oh, little me, I don't know, Lord, how this gonna work. But he like, Kiki, go ahead. Like I like you said, he has the provision for the vision. You know, everything is gonna fall into place. And even calling people like Jamisa, I was like, she's not gonna answer. She's busy, whatever. She was like, yeah, sure, I would love to. And then I would love to. And then Nisha was like, oh, sure, Queen, I would love to. I'm like, okay, Lord, so that wasn't the hiccup, so what's going to be the hiccup? Because that was easy, you know?
And I'm going to tell you, those are 3 women, myself included, that know how to say no.
Yes.
We know how to say no. Like, I've known Niche, how was I? Maybe 19, 20, something like that. Mm-hmm. I've known Niche for a few years. Yeah. And I know.
Yeah.
Right?
She ain't doing it. She ain't doing it. Listen, Nisha about her business. She said, here's my contract. I said, thank you, baby.
That's to me. Listen, we had it'd be funny, like our entrepreneur journey, like cause she started before me. Yeah. So I call her my big sister. Yes. And like just as we grown, she taught me to say no. I didn't know how to say no. Yeah. Because my no was either like a roar, like, but at that point you done already ticked me off. I was like, oh, okay, like all passive aggressive. Now I'm a big girl. It's like, no, you know, it's not gonna work for me right now. But even D, I told you she know how to say no. Yeah, she know how to say no. I know she know how to say no. That's why I was so nervous to call. I was like, Lord, you sure? You said no. You said call D. You said you sure? And he like, listen, like I ain't making no mistake. This really is ordained, and I'm just grateful to be a part of it. I'm thankful, that we can use our journeys to just help somebody else with their path in their direction.
Yeah.
So
thank you ladies.
I feel like I want to buy you something. I'm about to go online.
Sorry, I'm a 7.5, and you know me.
Right? She like, I want
to. Orange.
Your favorite color is what? Orange.
Her favorite color is orange. Yeah. She's
That is-
7.5. We wear the same size.
I just got the used comforter.
shoes that she won't come off the same color.
She got what shoe? Oh, what is
orange?
She loves orange. I want to get you something. I just think giving flowers is very very important, and for you it's the consistency for me. Like I don't ever have to worry about what version of you I'm gonna get. Good, better, and different. Like I don't really have to worry about that. And it's crazy because you're not a superwoman. You are not a person that just always has like great days. But even on the days that you're not having good days, we wouldn't know. Because you are always showing up.
Poised. She's always poised. She's always poised.
And in a way that we need you to be. So I just think that reciprocity, that's everything to me. So I don't feel like I need to go shopping. I'm going to go buy her something. I don't know.
She uses it as an excuse because you want to go.
She want to go buy herself something, right?
Listen,
Don't she? Well, listen, I wear 7.5 too. And my favorite color is, since you feel like shopping.
I'm going to buy her something. I'm not going to buy myself something. My birthday is coming up in
It
September.
is coming up.
I need to not buy anything.
What are you going to do for your birthday?
I don't know. Rolls Royce, Cullinan. I don't know. Something insane that I don't need to be doing.
Well, I'll be 45 this year, so I have to do something insane. Okay.
Yo, listen, I don't know. I mean, I just feel like, I don't know. Every birthday is a gift.
When is this possible conference?
It's coming in April. Well, first we were talking about we were going to do the Lovepreneur, around the whole Lovepreneur. We were talking about February. So when we talked to my extravagant planner that Dee gave me, she let me know about the times of the weather. You know how March is finicky and things like that. So she was like, well, the weather might not permit. So we're going to do it the last week in April. The last week. So it'll be the last. April actually falls on that Friday. That last day in April is a Friday, so it'll fall into the last day of April, going into like the 1st and 2nd of May. So
which is
okay. So is it a weekend?
Oh, that's around Mother's Day too. When is Mother's Day? The weekend.
No, Mother's Day is like 2
Mother's Day.
Okay.
Mother's Day is.
But they could come. That we could put a twist on that too. So we did do the new logo. So I'll show you guys that the Hey Sis I Love Your Shoes logo. It came out really really nice. So I had to send you guys that, and then we're going to just start doing promo around it. Like this will be the first promo around it, and we'll have flyers and things like that. But I think that this thing is going to be so big, and even though it's in a mansion this year, I think it's going to sell out. It's going to be bigger than the mansion, so we're going to have to move to different.
Absolutely. You might want to make it an annual thing and just like continue to do it.
Continue to do it.
Pain has a way of showing up again when it's not healed correctly. So we'll help women.
I love that.
You're going to have to help women. It's like it ain't going to stop.
It ain't going to stop.
Maybe if you keep even make it's a sorority type of thing. Like make it like a
that's what I want, the Good Girls Club. We're good girls.
Let's show up again next year and see where we at in our life now. Like how much have you grown? How much have you learned? And then just keeping it going.
Let them graduate.
Just to pay it forward.
Yes. Wow.
Like, the work don't stop. As long as you're alive, you got to keep going. So
it don't.
I know for a fact. I won't say I think. I know for a fact it's gonna be good. Like
it's gonna be good.
I move people to tears. Like I didn't have people just cry. And I'm crying. Like, it's okay, girl.
I'm excited. And hopefully a restaurant will be open because we need to come eat.
Listen, well that's the target date. The target date is around February, March.
Okay. Oh, I pray for that target date to go through.
We're hoping to meet that date, but that'll be dope.
That'll be dope.
After party or something there, we gotta think about that.
Yes, we do.
I know for a fact you ain't gonna cross contaminate. I'm coming to eat.
It's funny. This girl is a riot.
All right, and make sure there is no fish in sight.
That is fine. Well, congratulations on the restaurant. Congratulations on the hotel.
I love it.
This real estate game, is a beautiful, rewarding one, but it could be a dirty game. We just are going to the table after 7.5 months of closing on an apartment complex. So our date is not till the second week in August, but we have been carrying this baby since January, and it was so many liens on the property of the previous person that had it, and we had to find out who owned the liens because they were inherited through a deceased parent. We had to do all of that, and we just got the clearance last weekend that they found everything and everything is good and we're ready to go. We can close with a free and clear deed. But some things come with fasting and praying and tarrying. Some things ain't always easy. But we knew that this property will be worth a whole lot of money after the fact, after it being near the waterfront and things like that. And we were buying it for nearly nothing. The rehab is going to cost a couple dollars, but when you put it all together, it's still not going to. It's still not even worth what it's going to retail for after this, you know. So
Right.
we just wanted to stay in the race, and it was like toiling sometimes. Like, Lord, is this ours? If it is, let us know. If not, we'll just walk away, you know. And God kept saying, stay in it, and we just got the clearance that we will have a 6-unit apartment building, and we'll have our cafe, our internet cafe, and our laundromat. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited. God is like. But listen, I just want everybody to I thank y'all for being on here tonight, but I know this is a lot of encouragement. You have 3 women on here that have been through things and still made it through with the help of God. So I want you ladies to be encouraged tonight and know that there's nothing too hard for God to do. How you start is not how you have to finish, you know. Amen. And just educate yourself. I learned that a lot of things were through educating myself. You know, educating and reading up on it, figuring it out, looking at somebody else that did it, says how you do it, can you help me do it? Like, and that's why I'm always a help and always want to aid somebody in getting to that. My husband said, I've never seen somebody who want everybody to win. Like, when I got a house, I was like, I want everybody to get you need to live like this. I called my sisters like, girl, I want you to buy a house. I want you to buy the house of your dreams. I want you to do this and do that. And they like, my husband was like, you are so hype about everybody winning. And I'm like, because I want people to experience this life, because I know we all grew up in turmoil and dysfunction, you know, but
so crazy.
But it doesn't have to always end like that or be like that. And if you could taste and see that the Lord is good, I'm telling you, girl, you wouldn't want to go nowhere else, you know. So thank you. Any last minute words, guys, before we get out of here? Got like 4 more minutes or so.
No, because I'll be talking forever.
Love, pray, Nora. Anything beautiful?
I would definitely say that the conference is about, girl, what is it? I love your shoes.
Hey, sis, I love your shoes. Yes.
I love your shoes.
Yes.
That there is a lot of components about your shoes, and that there are going to be some interpretations about the shoes that are going to surprise you. So definitely be ready. Wear the right shoes.
Girl, we're going to have a shoe night.
You are going to be in the presence of some amazing group of shoes.
Yes.
You want to make sure you're playing your part. So,
Yes, that was so well spoken, because we definitely are going to have a shoe night. Okay, we're definitely going to bring out those shoes. But thank you guys for watching. This has been Take Notes with Kiki Barber. I am your host, Kiki Barber, and we have my special guest, Dr. Jamisa and Love, Pray, Nora Dhayany. Thank you so much for coming, y'all. Good night, ladies. Love you.
Thank you for listening to the Take Notes with Kiki Barber podcast. Please don't forget, notes on a pad without application is just notes on a pad. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and press that notification button so you can stay in the know. Until next time, my friends.